This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Welcome to Transformation with Tara Sutphen. Tara Sutphen is the author of Blame It on Your Past Lives and Soul Agreements. 3 audio CD series, metaphysical meditations, sourcing series, and sleep programming. Tara has also collaborated with Emmy Award-winning Shane Stanley and Marla Maples on numerous DVDs. Tara Sutphen is a master in the psychic sciences. If you'd like to find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams, visit her website at tarasutphen.com.
Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and I am going to interview today Jason D. McKean. He's also known as the Om Dog Tarot Wizard. We call him Om Dog because Om is, he sold millions of copies worldwide of meditations where he has Om Indigenous, Om Beat, Eternal Om Sanctuary, 108 Sacred Oms, Om Eternity, Om Serenity, and a big line of CDs and MP3s that are meditations on, and they have Om built into them. And Jason has been the voice, heard worldwide for those Oms, and it's just really so beautiful, and people just love it. And when they find out that Jason is the voice, they get so excited. Anyway, welcome, Jason.
Thank you for having me on this morning. And there's one other title too. I mean, you named like a lot of them.
Right. Yeah.
My latest one, the Om Shiva Shakti Namaha, which is that phrase, that chant, that mantra, that powerful integration of the masculine, the feminine, of the Shiva and Shakti energies there. And that is repeated 108 times on a CD or MP3. It's at all of these titles at iTunes, Amazon, you name it. It's out there. Go
right.
Find it. Yeah.
Now, tell us about the 108 times. Why is it 108?
108 is just a sacred number there, and that's one of those questions that I have to kind of like look up, at times to kind of remind myself why it's a sacred number there, and I forget actually why,
right.
The specifics
exactly.
of how it is like built into the.
Well, I can tell you numerology. From the numerology standpoint, it's all about putting in the self and then coming back to kind of the divine self when we're first born, and then coming into our personal power, that we go inward for the personal power. Mm-hmm. So that's where I think that it comes from. That would be my take, just from the psychic standpoint of the 108.
Oh, beautiful.
On a numerology basis. Yeah. And people who know my work, I do gematria, geometry with astrology, because somebody was asking me yesterday at the Moon Ritual if when did I start learning astrology? And I said, well, I was in my early 20s when I started, and I continue to learn and grow all the time. But I took it so much further than just Western astrology. I learned Eastern astrology. And then now it's become where it's just formulas of math that I read. So it's just the math. And I was one of those kids too in high school where I'm not going to use this math class. Like, why am I here?
No.
And of course I do. I love my math, and I wish I would have maybe studied harder.
I wasn't so great at math, but I was really great at English and things like geometry and algebra. They were kind of, I couldn't like quite grasp them, but when I went to college and I took logic, the structures of it is very much like in geometrical terms there, but it was in a different modality. It was in English, right? You were using words instead of numbers, and so I could understand it much easier. I don't know,
Isn't that
theorems.
interesting? Yeah, we know this wonderful woman called Cece Lahan, and I call her the brain shaman, because that's exactly what she does, is she breaks down how you learn. And so, so you learned it through words, to whereas, we all learn differently. And that's sometimes the school system, they can't teach in every modality of how we can learn things, but so we feel
That's
lost.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. But it's usually your brain activity. You click to a certain, site or word, like you said, English. That's how you learn math. I mean, interesting. Or learned a geometry system.
Mm-hmm.
For me too. It was astrology.
Did you feel lost in school, in the system of school when you were growing up?
Sometimes yes. Because of my near-death experiences, I always felt more about people, like what the teacher was going through and what everybody around me was kind of going through. And so I could get a little lost in that, like thinking, is this my anxiety? To whereas I learned that it wasn't my anxiety, it was theirs. And if I said something kind, that would help that. But, sometimes, I did. I got good grades, but I really slid by because I graduated as a junior from high school. So I really wanted out of high school, and it's just as well because I got pregnant then and got married really early. So it was like, okay. So there was this plan. And boy, would I never have given up that child. My children are my best friend.
Babies in the classroom are a little distracting.
Yeah, just a little. There. Just a little, yeah.
But it's like William is an incredible man. It's like it's awesome. Whenever I see him and all, it's just like he's so solid and all. Yeah. That can't imagine life without him.
Oh no. And then I have a new grandbaby, but Hunter's her daddy. And I really wanted her for the moon ritual last night. But, she could have been at the moon ritual, but it's today. I have full clients in Santa Barbara and I had this radio show. And, babies are just not good when you're trying to do real work.
Well, when you're trying to concentrate.
She had to stay with her parents. Darn.
They have their own agenda for at least the first 18 years. Yeah. And thank you for allowing me the opportunity to see Everest. I got to see her yesterday while you were on your way up to Santa Barbara, and thank you for that.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, she's such a lovely child. Oh my. Yeah, such a sweetheart.
And I'm sorry I missed your moon ritual too. What
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It was so beautiful. Oh, I wish for all of you to have been here. It was just the moon was so amazing. And we have this beautiful veranda and so we could sit out on the veranda and watch the moon coming up. And it was incredible, really beautiful. And my group they were so in tune with each other. You get the age range of people, and when people are coming together that need to know each other. And it just was wonderful. And they were talking like show tunes and, it wasn't metaphysics at all. It's just like a different part of life. And it was wonderful. I was so pleased about the turnout and who came and how wonderful, the moon was, and just praying on it last night was just amazing for me personally. It always is every month, but It was a really nice moon ritual last night. And we'll have a lot more. I've been doing a lot of private moon rituals for years, and I think I'm going to open them up again. There's a couple residences
to the public.
Yeah, there's a couple residences in LA that want to do it. And there's some office space of person who would like to do it. So yeah, I mean, we have plenty of places to do it. It's mostly in Los Angeles, although I'll be in Florida in October. So Florida will be one of our places. And then last month, I was with the elders of Alaska. So that was really special. Wonderful.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, because my project in Alaska is going really super well. I mean, it's hopping, and I will be busy for the rest of my life. And sometimes changes in life are not always so fun. And everybody knows my old life, and it was a very long time ago, I think, these days. But
seems like a million years ago. In some respects,
Yeah. So, but we see why. You can always look back why things don't turn out the way they do. And I have such incredible work to do. I'm with an amazing guru for 10 days. His retreat is coming in for 6 days, but I'm with him for 10. And it's going to be a really amazing time. It's Guru Dev, and he is world known, and he's one of the greatest healers on the planet. And so it's a very personal honor for me to be chosen to be a personal reader for him.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And then, I have this Alaska project, all the elders, all the politicians, and, my clientele is fantastic. I mean, really, I look back and say, oh, I had to live this life. In my work has been so important, and is continuing to be more important on the planet. So it's great. I'm pleased.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And for yourself, now here I am asking you questions and all.
Yeah, I know. You do that. Thank you.
That though, on your show, as far as but I find it fascinating, the aspects of personal growth, and especially for facilitators, right? Because a lot of people expect facilitators to already have like all the answers and to be always on top of things, but there's a lot of personal growth that can happen too with the clientele that we attract, and also when we need to be in the presence of a higher vibration too, of a guru, of someone who is in another state, right? And it's like we want to tap into that and expand our own potential. Just do that much more in this life. And I think it's really, really interesting, for you, because you have always like been accessible for people, right? I mean, this is your calling, where you are, where you work with others, and you bring them up, you bring them to a higher perspective of themselves, where they're able to see the potential, within themselves, right? I experienced it for myself, it's like, I wasn't always a tarot reader.
No, but he's a great artist. Oh my gosh. And production. Oh my goodness.
You saw that potential.
Yes, I did.
Pushed me, prodded me,
I put Jason in 2 boot camps. My boot camps, psychic boot camps they're expensive, but they are worth it because I boot camp you.
Completely.
Yes. And so from like 8 o'clock in the morning, I say, let's get up at 8. And then till about 11:30 at night, I am relentless. We get a little breaks for food, but that's it.
Yeah. We did have some food breaks and some photo ops and,
yeah.
But actually it was kind of a number of different types of experiences too, which helps. overall, because it's not just an intellectual, process or whatever. It's not just a psychic process. It's all of these things, and they all work together to rebuild, who you think you are, who you need to become, and
Yes.
totally.
Yeah, I do it on a level whereas you're going to be a reader when you get out of it. And so we did it twice. He did it twice because, really to just really hone the skills. Mm-hmm. So I wanted it because, you come back and you have some questions, or you don't trust yourself, or Jason was really behind the scenes in a lot of art and publication. I mean, Jason's the creator of all of it, really. A long, long time. Advertising, Jason knows all of it. All my CDs, he's production on most of them, and art. Mm-hmm. So, and really, you're just prolific in that area as well. And, but he became a reader. I said, show your face. He's a Leo. He's a Leo dragon, which means that he likes to stay in his cave and create, but he needs to have his face shown to the world. So we pushed him out because he's so wizardly looking, and everybody loves Jason. Jason for all his life is that people come up to him and say he's this character, that character, Jesus or something, it was. Yeah, but now he's the wizard. He looks like the wizard. Oh, and Santa Claus. I have to put in Santa Claus.
Santa, ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Just everyone who, Allen Ginsberg at one point, people were like, hey, it's Allen Ginsberg. And I'm like, whoa.
Oh, that and that producer, that big producer. Or was that big music producer?
Yeah, Rick Rubin.
Oh, yeah. God, he's gotten it all. Yeah, for sure. It's been pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But now I'm actually getting known to be me out in the world. Yes. There, I will run into people I've read for in various places, and after you've read a couple thousand people, it can get a little it can start to blend in a little bit as far as you don't remember everyone. There are definitely people that you do remember, but you don't remember everyone. And so you can get kind of caught off guard a little bit in public when it's like, but usually if they come up to you and, talk, it's like, it was a good experience as far as, you haven't ruined their life. And also that's definitely a positive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was talking to somebody last week, and somebody a friend was with me, and she said, I've known that guy, seen him around, talked to him for 20 years, but you talked to him for 5 minutes and you got his whole life story. That's what we're leaving. Yeah. I said, I don't know. That's just my life. Yeah. What he's going through is his problems. I guess I just asked the right questions at the right time to people.
Well, I view it as creating sacred space, right? It's like, the person that you are generally, someone who, people feel comfortable with, like very, very early on. And I think, people feel that with me as well. And so it's about, acknowledging that we are there to be of service to someone, that we're, looking out for their best interests. And so people feel safe and they can open up. And, when I first started doing the work, it's like, I noticed right off the bat that, people would tell me all these intimate things, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, so, what do I do with this stuff? As a reader, as just, do I, just lock it away in a vault, and I had to, just kind of reconcile that kind of really early on, so that it didn't bug me, for one, so I don't feel like I'm carrying everyone else's burdens and their own stuff. And it's just like, mostly I just try to forget everything, about, someone, and not to be impersonal, whatever, but just so I can continue being a clear channel for,
Yes.
and do the work and not superimpose someone else's experience onto, someone else where it may not be valid, right?
Right. I'm very much like that. Yeah, too. I don't hold on to, and I don't read everybody, like sit around and read everybody. Like everybody thinks that, I mean, of course I can tap in a megasecond, but I don't because it's not because I'm like, saving you from having to hear anything from me. I just do it because, it's, for one, it's my work. So I don't sit around and try to work all the time. And for two, it allows you to flow with me instead of me being always on top of you, Yeah, in some kind of odd, sensory way. Yeah.
So I found a card like next to my car in the parking lot, right? A playing card.
Oh yeah.
And I put a photo of it on Instagram the other day, but it was the 10 of clubs, right?
Right.
And playing cards. No, clubs of the wands.
No, but pentacles. It doesn't go into 10 of pentacles.
No, it's the wands.
Oh, it's the wands. Oh, right. The wands. Okay.
Yeah. The diamonds are the pentacles.
Right. Diamonds. Ooh.
And, playing cards, they have their roots in the tarot.
Right.
That's where they evolved from, so, it's like the diamonds are equal to like pentacles, the spades are swords, the hearts are cups, the clubs are wands. And so, I always see these as like a guidepost, right? As a signpost there whenever I see a playing card there. And it's just one, it's random, right? But it's kind of right next to my car there. So
that's a message for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and it helps to know the meanings or the roots of the meanings. Like if you look at the Rider-Waite deck, the 10 of Wands, the person is headed back towards their, I guess the castle, right? But they're carrying like a bundle of like 10, rods, sticks, wands on their back. And it's a bit of a burden, right? It's like,
you're overly busy.
Yeah.
Wands are always going forward fast.
Part of responsibilities of things, of your own desires that can, if you don't, kind of ease up on how you go towards making sure that they manifest or whatever, they can just kind of like start to weigh you down. You can feel like Atlas there, where you're just kind of carrying your own world, of passions, of desires, of it's like all these things that you want to do in the world, and sometimes I see our own passions and our actions. This is all energy, right? That we expend, and we need to be in a place of flow within ourself. We need to not be able to get blocked up. If we have too many things that we want to do in the world, we can end up doing nothing because we're just so like kind of busy within ourselves, just trying to sort it all out. And right. So it's about, prioritizing things so that, you can build, just take the time to build things rather than trying to do everything at once there. And so, how does it relate to me? It's like, I have a lot of things that I'm, working on, a lot of irons in the fire. I've always got like a new, music or whatever. And, I don't want it to bottle up within
right.
me. So I need to lay some of these things down.
Right.
So
I delegate.
Overburdened.
I'm a big delegator.
Well, you have an assistant.
I do. I have 2 assistants. And, but the thing is that, I make it, I delegate where I want them to then delegate to others what they need. Like they'll ask me a question and I'll delegate, oh, ask this person. And I have a big team now in Alaska for my Awakening Spiritual Unity. So I'm able to do, like share the whole, I'm president, so they continue to want me to be president, but that's my thing is I delegate to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed so that we go forward. And the same thing with my business. It's all about just going forward gently. We don't try to fight I don't fight anything. I mean, usually I see it all as shamanic signs, and if other people are in their turmoil, I don't have to step into that whatsoever. That's not my thing. Yeah, I mean, I use all shamanic signs because people destroy themselves. So they're not destroying me at that point. They're destroying themselves. So I'm here as a facilitator to help people to get into the space of being kind to themselves, to moving their life in a really good way. There's nothing that I hold on to that I think is hasn't been a good change for me. So with that. Yeah. So yeah, the wands, what I would suggest too is as I don't do the playing cards really, but I love, cause I try not to make myself, too scattered either. I love tarot cards. I have tons of them. I mean, like maybe 100 sets where people give them to me as gifts, or, I owned a store once, or other people that I know who own stores, they've given me a lot of, sets. And so I have a great collection, really, really great. But I use mostly, especially because I like the symbology, I'll use the Scapini, deck. And Italian Scapinis. And then I also like, right now is a ceremonial magic. And then I like I Ching cards, and my Russian Gypsy cards. Those are my 4 sets that I absolutely love. Now, with that though, is that Robert Lee Camp, he does playing cards, and he has those books, the love cards and the destiny cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Destiny is your personal card, and so that would be fun to read the 10 of Clubs on and see what that means as well. Because he's stayed with me before, and him and Rachel, he just married Rachel, and she's adorable, and he's amazing. He's a walking, amazing source of information when it comes to his modality of how he reads. It's phenomenal to talk to him and watch. I love it. Really, I'm so in awe of great minds like his. So and I think he just sold the company. I don't think he's behind it. I think he's going to go off for a while. Yeah. Yeah. So, cause he's an incredible person when it comes to his modality, how he's developed the playing cards.
Do you have your deck in front of you as far as
I have Scapinis? Mine. Not the Scapinis, I do, yeah.
You gonna pick
let's. So what would you like to do? What should I just do a general one for you, Jace? Yeah. We can ask what that meaning of the 10 of Clubs was, or we can go ahead and just general. How about if I just do general?
That's good.
I'll just do. Well, I got 0. The Fool.
The Fool.
Yes. The Fool. So,
I love that.
Yes, it's a beautiful, amazing card actually, because you're starting over somewhere, and it's a time of spiritually immersing yourself in you're beginning to want some kind of magic again, and so you're starting to step toward it. There was something that you needed to let go of, and now you're stepping toward the magic. And what do you think the magic is for you?
The magic for me, because it's what I love so much about like reading tarot and all that. It's about the connection with others, right? It's
Mhm.
for me, that it has really, um, brought a new level of spirituality to me, right? Like where it's easy for the dragon to be in the cave, right? And
Mhm.
to, uh, kind of, just imagine how the world is, right? And yet when you're out in the world and you're, experiencing other people's, their hopes, their dreams for themselves, and also, uh, how they block themselves. It's really, uh, it's heartening to me, right? And heart is it's like a key word because it's that connectivity that I've been experiencing in the last few years of my heart opening, right? And being able to encompass other people's journeys and to see them as, works in progress, as opposed to, a finished piece, right? And it's like, sometimes we judge others, because they're not a finished piece, right? It's like we
Mhm.
just like, ourselves, we don't want to kind of box ourselves in, right? It's like we see our potential and yet others can see us and say, oh, that's how they are and that's how they'll always be, right? And that's limiting, right? And
Mhm.
so I feel that, my journey has been to open up and and give others kind of their space to grow and to change and to, uh, be who they need to be. And, um, that is, I mean, that's a really important part of my own like spiritual growth there, and that's where I've been focusing on, and that's what I want to expand upon, is that connection, that connectivity with others there, and so I see my journey going forth in doing, um, more work in that respect, but also, in perhaps some traditional manners as well. Tarot is not as traditional as one might think.
Right, right, right. It's true.
Most people
It's
are scared to get a tarot reading,
But
and
that's what the fool is to appear that as you go forward, you're not afraid. It's a non-fearful card to go ahead and be who you need to be in your life. And you have many, many talents already, the feathers in your cap, and you already have tools that you're taking forward with you, and yet you're being spurred on. You're being spurred on to, what I feel is to create probably more on your product line, because this is all about the, spiritually you are protected, that the spiritual waters are being protected on the outside. So you have a lot of, angelic presence, a lot of, shamanic presence, around you. Uh, they're protecting you as you go forward. I mean, we all think that we're like stumbling sometimes upon our journey, but this is a real clear time for you to immerse yourself in that creative pool where something's going to come out of it, and it's going to be, magical. The magic is about to happen.
nice.
So yeah, so this is where you're going. So I would say that's what I really feel is the product line is even more. Because, I mean, gosh, you have so many amazing titles on the Ohm music. And now yeah, and I would definitely still keep going on that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Like your new one. is really beautiful.
Om Shakti, or Om Shiva Shakti Namaha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is, that, kirtan. It's Sanskrit.
Yeah.
I would play that, Krishna Das. I would play that years ago. The kids always make fun of me because I would play it in the car because I wanted it to clear my way. You know, I would always play it, and the kids were like, "Oh, Mom's playing her music again." Yeah. But it was a prayer, and I love the prayers of the kirtans, and I don't listen to them every day, but they're always so sacred to me. So, just like other prayers.
Mm-hmm.
In the moon ritual, we did lots of prayers last night. Sourcing, just, you know, that goes right into prayer.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the type of moon that it was, if it was one that, you know, it brings things, or if it's one of clearing.
It's one of clearing. And the clearing is that you step toward, really working on your relationships. So it was about communicating with your relationships and bringing, just being a little more creative with your relationships. No more stifling yourself. It's an Aquarius moon at 25 degrees. So the Aquarius is about the future, and it's about what do you want for your future. But it had to do with other people. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're stumbling around with somebody, it's like, let go. You know, you don't have to be doing that unless it's a total workable situation. If it's total workable, then you both need to work on it. Whether it's a partnership in business, whether it's a personal relationship, whether it's your children, your family, relations, whoever it is, you know, that you care about what you're doing, yet you know what's good for your future. Right. Because, you know, people hold us back and you know, and what we just need to be gracious. We need to be grateful and gracious and go forward easily instead of all this stumbling that people do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That aspect of gratitude, right? Of being in a space of gratitude. I on my radio show yesterday, Wizard Talk, I had our good friend Jim Hagopian on.
Oh yes, I love Jimmy.
And that was
photographer,
kind of
famous photographer, Jimmy Hagopian.
A prevalent theme was taking time, just whether it's just a time out or whatever, just to acknowledge the good, right? That is in your life, and you know, however you express it, you know, if it's a wish to the universe, you know, or a prayer to the universe of thanks, or if you extend yourself for somebody else, you know, who needs some help, you know, just however you express it. It's like a very healing and affirmative action to take, you know, take root within our own being, and just to help, you know, just buoy our own spirit and move us forward. There, it's beautiful. I picked a card for you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What is that?
The card I have chosen for you is the Four of Pentacles.
Ooh, nice.
And how I see the Four of Pentacles,
mm-hmm.
It's the person sitting on it looks like a throne, you know, like it's a really heavy chair, right? Mm-hmm. It's one that it's, you know, where someone has taken the time to acquire things in life, right? And it's like, and it's important that they have like nice things and all. But there's a pentacle on top of the head, placed like near the heart, and then two at the feet. And I like to see the Four of Pentacles, right, as one of, you know, the fours, they represent solidity, you know, coming to a place of where one is kind of knows who they are in life, right? And but it's not a complete resting place. It's like you want to keep moving, right? But how we interact with the external, right? It's like there's that knowledge and that comfort of knowing who you are. And it is a place of, looking to see if you are totally on the same page as far as head and heart, right? I think it's significant that the pentacles are resting on the head and the heart, because when those parts of us are in alignment, when they're on the same page, then we can move in a direction that can, continue our success in life, right? When we're at odds, it's like if we feel like we really want to do something here and yet, the mind talks us out of it. It's like that's that battle that, this is like the people that will come to us to just see, why their life isn't like moving forward and all that. But I totally see your life moving forward, because that alignment is there. And when head and heart are aligned, then that, our actions, right? The feet, they can move in the direction of where it is that we want to be. And
yeah, every step is a positive step on those pentacles.
yeah.
Nice.
And I think it's important that energy keeps flowing, right? Especially with the fours, it's about, not resting. It's about not, just taking, all that you've acquired and just like, sitting on it and then like fearing, right? That you're going to lose it, right?
Yeah.
It's about taking like it's a place of knowing, right? It's a place of confidence and knowing who you are in the world and keep going forward. That's like, that is how I see the Four of Pentacles.
Well, I write a lot of that. The psychic ability is that you know it, you see it, you hear it, and you feel it. But with your mind, we are clear thinking humans. There is no confusion. Your mind meets your communication skills, meets your actions, and you are in balance. We're stable. I believe that. So thank you for that. That's really a beautiful message today, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody who does my meditations, a lot of you walk on gold coins. And so here I am walking on gold in my card. Nice, metaphorically.
But I think, how that represents you too is like, you're not afraid to, just go into every level of success. You have like very few limits in that respect, as far as like the people that you meet. It's like, you have a wide range of clientele, from the ultra wealthy to, the person on the street, and it's like, that is an amazing thing about you, right? Because it's something that I'm like, learning to deal with in my own reading and all, right? Because it's like we have had different, even though we had the same family, right?
Yes. Yes, Jason is my brother. That's right. Yep.
The same parents, the same extended family. It's like, one can have different experiences and have different limitations set upon them and things like that. So it's like, I am in that realm of opening up, right? And I think that's my journey, right? Is just opening up again, my heart center and all, and being, very, very connected to others and, this work, it's been an amazing journey.
I think that's mine too. is to stay open. I do think that for me as well. Not that I don't put any real limits on that I have to be in one place. You know, as long as it's like fulfilling a network of people, that seems to be my goal, is to be a facilitator of pushing people into their greatness, to expecting that we are going to change on the highest level, that nobody's going to hold any sort of negativity in check. You know, that it's all that's passé. That's not where we all have, you know, negative people, negative situations, hardships, deaths that we have to deal with. But you do not have to, you know, think that your ship is sinking at all times. It's really floating, and you are going to gracefully go into your future. And if you keep going wonderfully into a mindset and a healthy body and a healthy mind, then you will become all of it. You know, that is what, you know, it's a step-by-step process. It is not a leap. You know, you see people leaping toward things, and it's not a leap. It's a step-by-step process. And you know, for me, I think with that building the teams, like we were saying, the delegation, everything, my assistants and stuff, it's like amazing. Like, and you know, and they have so much that's coming into them that they have to choose what's important as well. Because, you know, because we have to go the next jumps in things to have that creation. So and then I teach them to delegate. Oh yeah, we'll have this person do that, and that somebody do that research and what they're good at. But I have, oh gosh, you know, my teams are becoming just incredible. I mean, I'm going to do a hypnotist training with Shannon Feather in October, and anybody's welcome to join that. I mean, that's going to be a really amazing class. And it's for 10 days. And Shannon doesn't mess around. She's a college instructor. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to meditate at the beach for an hour in the morning. And then after that, it's hard work. And she'll lead a meditation, or I'll lead a meditation for an hour in the morning. But then it's hard work. And, you know, anybody can use that for their business. You don't have to be a hypnotist. You can be a doctor, a dentist, a nurse, a plumber, really, and be able just to relax. You know, you're relaxing your body, going forward, flowing. That's why I feel that hypnosis works for everybody.
So it can be for self-hypnosis, or it can be to relax a patient, like if you're a dentist,
person.
You know, a person. It's techniques, right? As far as
it's
like
just techniques. It's actually life techniques. It's programming the mind to be strong. You know, it's mind programming to where it's a strong mind. Come on. We can be strong.
And we can also change like our own programming as well.
Yes.
If we're afraid of something, we can
or bad habits.
Learn to recognize it and then start changing it.
Yeah, they're using it for a lot of drug rehab now, too. And it's really quite a process. And I have a lot of curriculum with and different agendas that I'm doing. So it's fun.
With the training, the hypnosis training, what do people get out of it as far as like a certificate or a... Yep,
certificate. They'll get a certificate, and then they can use it from there, you know, however they'd like to. But again,
is that certification? Like
certification through an organization, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, international organization.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it's all good. Yeah.
So
that's in October, and then I have the Mystic training where you can learn to be really psychic, and that's around Halloween because the center just books me then because they just love me there at Halloween. They're so cute, and they just give me dates these days. You know how you have to usually call in and book, and that's my center in Sedona. They love me and just book me dates. And they book me tons of dates if I let them. Yeah, so they're pretty funny.
And that one
And
is
they're
just
busy.
like,
Yeah, they're busy.
I've been to the mystic training, and that one's it still resonates. There years after
Yeah.
it, the cards that were introduced to me there, as far as like, reflecting some of my own journey and all that. It's like it still resonates. So it's an amazing time, and any of the things that you do, it's like you create sacred space with others, and everyone gets something out of it.
Yeah.
And usually the people that you meet there, it's like they're family afterwards. It's
Yeah. It's really fun, isn't it, that way? Well, I do a prayer pact at the beginning, and so everyone learns from everybody else, and so nobody has any judgment, because that's really what we need to lose in life is judgment. And so I really, it's just fun to watch, whereas instead of putting down somebody for what they're saying is really, what am I supposed to be learning from what they're saying? How could I help them? What is this tool? What tool do I need to use as a divination tool? Divination is the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means. But, what am I going to learn here as far as from someone, even if I don't like them? Mm-hmm. So, so everybody becomes really friendly. I've only actually had one person over all the years that I've done mystic training, and they complained that everybody was my friend. And it was like, well, I didn't know anybody at the training.
That was me. That was me, wasn't it? That complaint. It's like, yeah, right. Tara.
Yeah, and it was
you're supposed to pay attention to me.
Right. I guess and that's maybe what it was, that they felt that they needed more individual attention, to whereas, when you're with a group, you give everybody attention. And I loved her too, so I don't know, that happens. But that's their personal programming, their personal journey. But we have a blast, and I have to really keep everybody in the room, in the classroom, because a lot of times, here I'm paying for the classroom, but everybody wants to go to this site or site. And I have a lot of friends, in Sedona who have really magical, like labyrinths and, the stupa. I love to do a big ceremony at the stupa, which is, the guardian. Stupas are the guardians of every Asian temple in Asia. And so this stupa in Sedona is one huge stupa, and then they have a couple of smaller stupas. But so it's guarding the temple of Sedona is the stupa. So I go around and do a whole ceremony for, I don't know, it's probably a good 40 minutes, and guide everybody to do it when I'm with them. So I have a lot of fun. And then last time I did a big thing at the stupa, afterwards, I had taken a bunch of my teens over there, my psychic teens, and we did this whole, journeys all over Sedona, but we were at the stupa and we did this ceremony, and we then went to one of the metaphysical bookstores, and Virtue was there. And so I thought that was really sweet, because she recognized me right away and came running up, and so we got to hug, and it just was more magical, made the stupa experience more magical.
Beautiful.
So, I've known her a long time before she became, the angel lady.
She does a lot of amazing work in the world.
She does.
I know so many readers that use her and all. But thank you
She's
for having me today as a guest, Tara.
Yes,
you're
welcome. Much. Yeah, thank you, Jason, for being on the show. Jason D. McKean. You can find his website, Jason D. McKean, McKean.com, or omdog.com, where you can find a lot of product. And Jason does readings over Skype, over the phone. He works at Kathmandu in Santa Monica, and also the Green Man in North Hollywood. Okay, thank you, everybody. Blessings. Happy full moon.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you for sharing your time with Tara Sutphen. Find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams by visiting her website at tarasutphen.com.